The most dangerous mobsters in history. John Dillinger. Dillinger spent the early part of his life in prison with hardened criminals. He managed to escape using a wooden gun. After being released, he committed dozens of armed robberies, including 4 daring robberies at police stations. Roy DeMeo. Roy DeMeo was a particularly brutal gangster. He rose to notoriety as part of the Gambino family in the 1970s. DeMeo killed hundreds. He invented the Gemini method, which involves dismembering bodies before disposal. Sammy the Bull Gravano. Gravano began his criminal career with petty crimes such as armed robbery and larceny before moving on to mob hits. His claim to fame was organizing a brutal hit on his former friend and boss, Paul Castellano. They shot him 46 times. Salvatore Totò Riina. In breaking with Sicilian tradition to keep violence to a minimum, Riina was certainly not afraid to shed some blood. Riina did not hesitate to slaughter judges, policemen, prosecutors, and even witnesses to send a message to authorities. Albert Anastasia. Also known as the Mad Hatter, Albert and his cronies became known as Murder Inc., a branch of the syndicate's enforcement arm. During this period, it's believed that Anastasia was responsible for an astounding 600 brutal murders. Pablo Escobar. Escobar was both ruthless and effective. He either bribed law enforcement officials, or if they refused, he killed them. His motto was plata o plomo, silver or lead. He was responsible for the deaths of hundreds of policemen and state officials. Charles Lucky Luciano. Luciano built a multinational empire on rackets like gambling, loan sharking, extortion, and drug trafficking. Luciano was an old-school mobster. He killed anyone who spoke to authorities, including longtime friends and associates. Al Capone. Capone made a vast fortune selling bootleg alcohol during the Prohibition era and went to any length to maintain power. Capone famously ordered the murder of 8 rival mob associates in what became known as the Valentine's Day Massacre. John Gotti. By 21 years old, Gotti's rap sheet included car theft and assault. A short while later, he would add much more to his resume. By age 45, Gotti had the head of the Gambino crime syndicate murdered and assumed power shortly after. Richard the Iceman Kuklinski. While most gangsters killed for money or power, Kuklinski killed because he enjoyed it. Kuklinski is a bona fide psychopath. Kuklinski murdered over 200 people and admitted to thoroughly enjoying watching his victims die painfully.